Welcome to Farming Academy presenting Rethinking Sustainable Food Systems in Nigeria, Lessons from the Scandinavian Countries by Jeanette Johnson and Farming Academy. The topics for this little speech you can see here, but let's start. Lessons from the Scandinavian countries. First of all, let's take Denmark as an example. A very short introduction to the Danish farming history is 4,000 years BC. Danish farmers began cultivating crops and raising livestock. The early farmers grew wheat, barley, and peas and raised animals such as cattle, pigs, and sheep. During the Viking Age and the Middle Ages, farming became more and more significant for Denmark, but a very significant movement in the 20th century was the introduction of cooperative farming. And that's the foundation for the Danish society today. We are talking about, in Danish, andelsbevægelsen, and it's a cooperative movement started in the late 19th century and based upon the principles of cooperation and mutual assistance. It was to give the farmers a better way to influence their own livelihood and get support from each other. And that support system was really based upon sharing of knowledge, working together, providing the basis of selling and buying in farmers' unions to keep the prices at a good level so the farmers could get a good livelihood. And getting a good livelihood also meant that the farmers themselves and their children would have the benefits of education and in that way sharing knowledge. And education was not only for the children, it was also for the farmers. There is a tradition in Denmark that farmers are very well educated and continue learning through their whole working life. The farmers' movement established its own schools and educational institutions, and still today there's lots of offers for training and educational programs, and that's why Denmark today is known for its advanced farming techniques and high quality food products. The cooperation between farmers in Denmark is based upon trust between farmers, and taking that a step further leads to food security and biosecurity. First of all, there's a highly diversified and efficient food production system that will always secure that we'll never run out of food. And we also have built systems to make sure that the food is safe to eat. And that's why biosecurity is the topic when it comes to food in Denmark. Food security is not the big topic because that problem is solved. We can produce all the food needed and we need to make sure it is safe for human consumption. And to make sure it's safe for human consumption, we monitor outbreaks of disease and register everything. Every animal produced in Denmark, we can go in and see where is it produced, on what farm, what food was given to the animal, have there been any treatments with medicine. Everything is registered. So if there is, for instance, a piece of meat that is not healthy for human consumption, we can fast go in through the system and identify why. For a Danish farmer, that means a lot of paperwork. You need to register a lot of things. But it is clear for all farmers why you need to do it. And the safety in the system make the system very reliable. And the customers have a lot of faith in the system is working. So they trust the products. So to sum up, the strong focus on biosecurity has helped to ensure a safe and stable food supply for the local citizens. and it positioned Denmark as one of the leaders in the global agricultural communities. And that's why we are talking about farming being the foundation for the welfare system in Denmark. Not only by supplying safe food for everybody, but also supplying an educational system for all citizens and a healthcare system. All of that is actually based upon the mindset of farmers working together, trusting each other, trusting the system. But sometimes we can wonder, have we taken it a bit too far in Denmark? And when we're talking about taking it a bit too far, we can talk about intensive farming practices that can harm biodiversity by destroying natural habitats, reducing soil quality, contaminating water sources, and harming the environment. So the big topics in Denmark at the moment are, we know we can trust the farmers, but are the farmers really behaving in a way that will not have a negative impact on the environment, on nature? And animal welfare is a concern of every citizen in Denmark. So more and more farmers are, because of consumer demands, beginning to have a look towards sustainability and animal welfare. Because we have been so intensively farming for a long time, there is less and less people that have been employed in farming. And that will have the effect that less and less Danish citizens actually personally know a farmer. And it's easier to criticize somebody you never met. The farming organizations in Denmark are trying to motivate more farmers to connect with citizens. So the question mark in has it been taken a bit too far could be answered by yes. So that's one of the lessons that could be learned from the Scandinavian countries by a country like Nigeria. Instead of making the same mistakes, be smarter, go directly to the sustainable solution. The sustainable solution is to be a modern farmer. Modern farmers are businessmen or businesswomen who need to manage their resources efficiently to maximize their profits and ensure long-term viability of their operations. To tick that box, you need to have a high level of knowledge. And it needs to be knowledge of the biology, the foundation for farming, farming techniques, on how to preserve the environment for future generations, and use sustainable practices. And at the same time, be a good business person that has skills in finance, marketing, and risk management, and have the ability to swiftly adopt their production strategies to meet the market's trends and demands. So the farmer need to take their job seriously, know that they are responsible for feeding the world's population. And to do that in the optimized way, they need to know what technologies and practices are the right ones to use in their situation. And always have in mind that they are guarding the earth. They are the ones that have to make sure that they meet the challenge of feeding a growing population with limited resources. So, adopting innovative approaches, like for example, vertical farming, is a must. And we have to work on improving the supply chain efficiently, making sure we produce safe products produced in a way that gives the best future for the future generations, while we still protect the environment. And that goes for Danish farmers, and that also goes for African farmers. And that's the reason why we built Farming Academy. And what's Farming Academy? Farming Academy is the first global online school of farming and life sciences, open for students all over the world. Our vision is we believe in knowledge, and we make the sharing of knowledge and experiences accessible for everybody globally. And we hope to inspire people to farm in the best possible ways. We have a system we developed for African countries that needs to spread knowledge to larger groups of farmers. And to support that, we have some educations that we make for trainers. So we are training trainers. And the trainers can help to support groups of smallholder farmers or commercial farmers locally. And Farming Academy is not a Scandinavian school, it's a global school. So our content providers, our educators, they are located all over the world, and they teach the subjects that they master best. So for instance, when it comes to Nigeria, we have local partners that helps us to develop training courses and to teach the courses by support from trainers, and local farmers can subscribe to lectures, get help from their local trainers to get maximum benefit from the trainings. And the subscriptions, they are bundles of lectures that are available for groups as long as they uphold the subscription. And our teachers, they are very skilled people from different countries talking about their field of expertise. And every lecture have a list of sources of information, bibliography. Here you can see how you get into Farming Academy. You can go in farmingacademy.eu or farmingacademy.africa. And if you go into the classroom, you can access all the lectures. This concludes this presentation, and my name is Jeanette Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Farming Academy, and I'm also editor-in-chief. Here you can find my email address, jj@farmingacademy.eu, and please reach out to me if you have a project that could be interested in working with Farming Academy, or you want to be a content provider. Thank you for listening.